This week, one of Coronation Street's most heartbreaking storylines kicked off. In the run-up to Christmas, street stalwart Rita Sullivan finds herself becoming lonely and isolated, with close friends and loved ones too busy with their own lives to check in on her. Earlier this week, we saw Rita making an emotional phone call to her friend Gemma.
Yo, this is Gemma. Leave a message after the...
Hello, Gemma. It's Rita. I'm just wondering how you all are. And if there's anything I could do to help. Oh, I'd love to help. It's Rita.
Sadly, Rita isn't alone. Charity Age UK says that 200,000 elderly people will spend Christmas Day on their own this year, with up to 1 million people feeling lonely in the run-up to the day itself. Like, it literally makes me want to cry.
You do, you get so...
I just
remember
can't
you
cope
saying
with it.
to me weeks ago, do you remember this, when Christine you'd seen that elderly lady in the supermarket, and it really upset you? And
I
you
know,
went
and she was
over
on
to
her own. Stop me crying every time I talk about anybody that's lonely.
You're
I can't do it.
isn't it?
I actually make her cry. I just think it's so awful for someone that's lived their life and suddenly they're on their own.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I saw this lady in the supermarket and she was just on her own and she was just struggling with her bags.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, let me help you. And it was like I had just, you know, given her a £10 million cheque. It was, and such a simple thing. But I just thought that poor lady has probably nobody.
Yeah.
And all I did was pick her bags up and helped her out. It was like, it literally meant nothing.
What's shocking, I find, is that some people do have nobody, but a lot of people do have relatives who either don't find the time, maybe they don't have the time to visit them, or they don't find the time. But also, I think a lot of people in that situation, older people, and I've had relatives who have done it, have basically said, look, you do your own thing, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
And so... why you would believe that, I would never believe that. And I would always sort of make an effort, make an excuse to go round and see them. But the fact that people just do their own thing when they've got an elderly relative sitting at home on their own, I find really sad.
It's also
I'm on the edge with it. I'm really on the edge with it.
It's also the generation where they don't want to be any trouble.
Yes.
So even if they are feeling that, and you ask them, they're, oh no, I'm fine, you know, thank you very much, blah.
Which is why I guess stories like that are so important in Coronation Street, isn't it? Because this is Rita.
Well, what's so great about that is, that she has people. So it's easier to imagine the person that has no one and to maybe notice that in your street, or in your neighbourhood, but to somebody that appears to have family and friends and to still be alone.
It's tricky though, isn't it? It's tricky if you do know someone in your street who you know is alone and you sort of don't know if they have any visitors or not.
Well, this time of year is great
because
you can just pop a Christmas card in. Oh, just never spoken to,
phone
but notice you
number
on
on
the street and just say hello and just give a smile.
Yeah.
Just do something. But I think what you were talking about in the shop, because when you think about it, so much of our life now is automated, isn't it? And that we don't speak to anyone in the post office. It's going to get to the point where there is nobody in the supermarket that you speak to. You can just see it coming, can't you?
Yeah.
And I really feel for people that our very, very dear friend Pat, who's in her 70s, she's probably watching. Hello, Pat. I've known Pat for 20 years and she's always been, like, out. You know, she's always walking. Pat Walker is her name. She walks up to the shops. Everywhere she goes, she talks to somebody, you know. And 3 months ago, something catastrophic, basically, that's the way the doctor described it, happened with her knee, and she's now in agony and she cannot stand on her leg at all. And I was talking to her on Sunday about this. She said she cannot believe how much her life has changed in 3 months because she doesn't go out. She doesn't talk to anyone. She doesn't even get up to see the postman. She doesn't go to the shop. All those things. And isolation, wham, 3 months time.
Yeah.
I remember when...
it's scary how quickly you can be left on your own.
I remember my mother-in-law, Gary's mum, she was in a really lovely old people's home because she had dementia. And so we used to go and see her every day. And outside... each room, they had like a notice board, and in that notice board, the families would have put... So there were pictures of them when they were young and, you know, with their kids and all of that. And the people in that home were incredible. There was a woman who'd been a professor of medicine and da-da-da-da. But it really taught me, you know, at the end of the day, we all end up kind of in a room. You know, our life kind of gets boiled down. And all that matters is who walks through that door and visits you. So what you drove, what you earned, you know, where you lived, all irrelevant. It's kind of all that stuff along the way, but at the end of the day, it's about those people that care enough to come and visit you.
But that's, you see, there lies my problem, because you know how passionate I feel about this, and I'm always sort of looking, if God forbid anyone's sort of struggling when they're out walking, I'm always like, can I help you and all this sort of stuff. And then I think I'd literally pick them up and bring them home and feed them and do everything I could for them. But as you say, you can't just go up to random people and say, can I help you? Because I might be offensive to them by doing that. So it's kind of knowing how to help. It's, as someone that wants to help, I don't quite know how to go about it.
Well, it must be charities.
Exactly.
Age UK, so they offer befriending services. So there's face-to-face befriending. So you can visit an older person in their home for perhaps for a cup of tea or a chat, or accompany them out on a shopping trip or whatever. And then there's a thing called call-in time telephone befriending. So it's a national, it's a national service, and you basically phone an older person at an agreed time for a chat, and you're matched with somebody perhaps that you would have maybe sort of similar interests.
Well, look at that. How easy is that to do? To
Yeah.
just have a phone. That's an amazing idea, isn't it?
Exactly.
Because I know with elderly people in my life, you know, when you say, well, I'll give you a ring tonight, you can't forget saying I'll ring you tonight, because often that will be what they will be working towards all day.
Although you often you ring and they go, Coronation Street's on, call back later.
That is so true. Yeah. We could certainly all do more, couldn't we? Every single one of us.
We could, and of course,
sure.
I think it's that time of the year, isn't it? The Christmas makes us all reflect a little bit more and think about
Just
others, as it
exaggerates
should be.
everything,
It
doesn't
does. It absolutely does. And look, if you have been affected by anything that we've been talking about just now, please go to our website. There's lots of information on there. Or indeed, if you're sitting at home and you don't have a website or computer or anything else, and hopefully maybe you have a phone, that's when you get in touch with charities like that, because people like us do want to try and help, but we just need to be matched. We'll make it happen.
Calls.
Yes, absolutely right.